on this week's episode of Marketing O'Clock.
Get rich or data trying. Profiles, discussions and forums, and organizational structured data is here.
A new addition to video campaigns is coming to Google Ads, and we'll give you the long and the shorts of it.
Chrome is where the card is. Merchant Center promotions can now show in the Chrome browser.
All on today's show.
Welcome, you are listening to Marketing O'Clock. Just stay tuned. Digital marketing news, but let's get specific. Digital ads, SEO and analytics, social media and more. Pretty much everything that'll make your website perform. With new shows every Friday. We give you the news with sass and puns and definitely hot takes. Thank you for tuning in. You know what time it is. It's officially Marketing O'Clock. Settle in, sit back, keep it locked.
Hey there, I'm Greg Finn.
I'm Jess Budd.
I'm Nicole Waddington.
And it is officially Marketing O'Clock.
Here on December 1st, 2023. And before we get into all the digital marketing news of the week, let's give a little recap. What happened last week? Anything fun, y'all?
So it's deer hunting season. If you're a longtime listener of the show, you know that I have a neighbor in particular that loves deer. We see deer all the time coming by.
Loves them?
Loves deer. And I was getting dropped off by a friend. It was late at night, dark out. And when I got out, I thought I'd stepped in a puddle.
Okay. Can we elaborate what you mean by loves deer first? Okay. Or you want to? I don't want to.
I feel like she's going somewhere with this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Loves deer.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
loves
You
deer.
stepped into a puddle.
And I had luggage with me. So, put the suitcase down on the curb. So happy to be home after a long flight. Walk in the house. I'm starving. I just go straight to the kitchen. Don't even take my shoes off to get a snack. 20 minutes later, I look down. There's blood everywhere. It's like a scene out of Dexter. Blood all over my white sneakers.
That's what you get for not taking your shoes off when you get home.
I was hungry.
Me too, but
I had white sneakers on. There's blood all over the white sneakers, all over the kitchen floor.
So for new listeners, how did this actually happen?
So I live next to someone who owns a deer processing truck, trailer, whatever you want to call it. And I thought he was doing really sucky business because I never, the first year living there, saw a deer get dropped off, except like once. So I was like, people must not be going to him to get their deer processed. This year, business is booming because he must have not cleaned off the curb and somebody must have dropped a deer like right outside and they were carrying it up and there was a puddle of blood and deer guts that I stepped in. I thought it was water. It wasn't water.
is it on your luggage too? Did you roll blood to the door?
Yes.
Oh, no.
There was a trail going up the driveway through the house and I did end up cleaning off all the blood on my shoes. They're white. They're sparkling clean. Never been cleaner.
Well, with the waterfall of blood, it sounds like his business is doing well, at least.
Yeah. I've seen a lot of deer come in and out of that.
Do you watch
trailer.
in the trailer? Do you get to see the grinding parts of it?
I wish.
No.
If I'm gonna step in the blood, I want to see it too and see the process.
You should ask if you could watch one day, shadow, professional shadow.
But they just
career.
drop a deer off in the lawn?
They pull up in their trucks and they're so excited, right? Because they just got it.
Yeah, they got a fresh bloody
Yes,
deer for
exactly.
your sneakers.
And I see usually 2 or 3 people get it out of the truck and carry it up the driveway into the processing trailer. And I don't know what happens after that.
Does he just have a massive garbage day every week?
No.
Where does it all go?
That's what I'm wondering. It's like bio waste, right? He
can't
probably
eat-
has
you can't
to
eat the
dispose it
bones.
somewhere.
You can't just throw it away, can you?
I don't think so. You could probably just throw it over there. It's
Not on my driveway.
Well, no,
Yeah.
but I just feel like if a deer
Yeah.
died in the woods, you leave it.
And on the side of the road, people leave it.
Yeah. Ew.
All right.
Okay. Well, mine's nowhere near as gross, but there could be blood because I have noticed an uptick in people running red lights. Have you noticed this?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Why? All of a sudden, I was at an intersection this morning on my way in, and I am stopped, and the truck coming at me in the other direction is stopped at the red light. Not didn't even just come up to it and go, was at a full stop and drove through. And I don't understand, he just decided to go. He was impatient. What's going on?
There's only one solution for that.
What's that?
You just start running the red lights yourself.
I would never.
Wait. When you see a yellow light, what do you do when you see the light turn yellow?
If my son is in the car, I assess the situation and will either go through if it's safe or slow down to a stop. If I'm by myself, I speed up and go through for sure.
You see it turn yellow.
I speed up. I go through. It's orange.
Okay. Yeah. Unless it's winter. In winter, I don't.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
If there's
I slow
ice,
down.
you got to be
Yeah,
safe.
yeah.
But if you're far
I speed
back,
up.
stop. Because I just feel like sometimes trying to stop, people are so bad at driving now, you just get rear-ended because
Yeah.
nobody pays attention.
Yeah.
And everybody's trying to go through anyway.
Yeah, but that's the thing. If you're like still in motion and you run the red light, that is somewhat acceptable. If you are at a stop, you are stopped at the red light, and then you decide to go.
No, I'm not
That's
saying
what I saw that this
Yeah.
morning.
No,
I've
that
seen it like
happens
2
all
or
the
3
time.
times
and I
recently.
think it's only a Western New York thing.
I've seen it in the
'Cause
city. Yeah,
people that come in out of town, they like watch. We see it happen all the time, and they're like, "Did that just really happen?" I'm like, "It happens all the time."
all the time
Mhm.
for some reason recently.
All right. Well, watch out there. Something you should be watching for, however, is something that SEOs and marketers are going to like. I want to tell you about today's sponsor, Wix Studio, the platform that gives agencies total creative freedom to deliver complex client sites while still smashing deadlines. Let's start off with SEO. Maybe you've been hiding under a rock and you haven't heard our interview up with George Wynn from Wix, but SEO is at the core of Wix Studio, baked into every edit, update, and action that you take. Wix has some of the best in-class defaults, automations, and bulk actions to free up time, and you can customize it at scale for more control. With Wix Studio, you can say goodbye to endless plugins and hello to native integrations with Google, Facebook, Instagram, Amazon, TikTok, and many more. And on the creation side, you can efficiently bring your most ambitious projects to life thanks to smart design features, flexible development tools, integrated business solutions, and seamless workflows. There's multiple. It's plural. Stop what you're doing right now and get to Wix Studio. It's plural, folks. Even after clients take over, built-ins like automatic redirects can help sites stay optimized for long-term growth. And speaking of growth, you can track every campaign against client KPIs, automate monthly emails to share learnings with clients. All of this is backed by fast, resilient infrastructure that's built to scale. Off of the script right now, this is something that makes building websites fast, easy, and while Wix is fantastic, sometimes as an agency, you need a little bit more control. And Wix Studio is a game changer. It saves you time. You don't need full custom dev builds, but you can still make a website look exactly like you want it to. So if you want to find out more, it's wix.com/studio. That's wix.com/studio, wix.com/studio. And into the main news this week, somebody throw that Undertaker GIF up because authorship is back, baby. And
What year is it?
Undertaker?
No, authorship.
Oh, authorship. It dies once a year and comes back once a year. I think this is actually the second time it's come back this year.
Amazing.
But this is actually fairly big and plays into what we've been talking about with a lot of the perspectives that are showing up in the search results pages. If you recall, that started showing up more on mobile first and has moved on to desktop. Many times perspectives, which are generally from a TikTok, a YouTube, some sort of social outlet, show up again at the very top above what we would call the, kind of 10 blue links of traditional SERPs. And Google Search is now supporting profile page structured data and discussion forum structured data. And it seems to me, kind of reading the tea leaves here and what Google is saying, is that this is to get some of those fresh perspectives and not have some of the same old SERPs that we're used to. We talked about last week and the week before some of the hidden gems update that happened a month and a half ago-ish, it seems, where more user-generated content like sites like Reddit and things like that, we're trying to be kind of find some of the gems of knowledge in there and have those rank higher than some other sites. But the cool thing is now you can add that profile page structured data and markup for creators, people or organizations to share the first-hand perspectives. The markup will help Google highlight the creator's name or social handle, profile photo, follower count, or the popularity of the content in the Google search results. They gave an example of what it looks like. It just looks like perspectives to me. You can see that there's a a slider there, or I guess a section there on perspectives, and you can see that that's where the content comes through. So if you have somebody like, let's say me at Cypress North, and we want to put into my profile page all of my different information in a structured format, link to all my official handles and things like that, that could be something that could help to elevate that in perspectives. And same with y'all too. But Jess doesn't have any updates, so maybe more same with Nicole here. Big deal. If you have somebody on behalf of your brand, you need to implement this and do this. This is a big change. And as I've said twice already today, it goes to the top of the SERPs in many examples. All right, and there is discussion forum structured data. This is for any forum style site where people share firsthand perspectives. And according to Google, they say, when forum sites add this markup, Google search can better identify online discussions across the web and make use of this markup in features such as discussions and forums and perspectives. And it looks pretty much like what you would think, basically pulling out sort of a message, it appears, the date of that message and sort of the context around that forum. So I think this is actually going to be pretty huge for these forums. Forums are like notoriously bad for actually being able to find anything in them.
They look like the oldest internet too.
I know.
Out there. So the few that do this, implement this, it'll be great.
There are some of the most passionate freaks in all those like old school, like the older school looking the forum, like the more meticulous the freak is about whatever the topic. You're just like passionate. You're just like the biggest fan. So I think this is really cool. And then in Search Console, there will be tools to help you monitor discussion threads and profile page markup issues. So there are some screenshots of what the reports may look like, and you should be able to see that in Search Console. Again, unlike what we talked about with notes, where there's not really any way to get that feedback or see the notes or anything like that. The nice thing here is you can, again, see some of those issues and monitor some of that threads. And again, what they showed was sort of like if something's valid or invalid. So love to see it. Get it set up today. If you need help, give us a ring. We'll get it done for you. Oh, and sorry, I forgot. There's another piece of structured data that came out on Wednesday when we record. This was like late, right before we were recording, a little later in the day, but Google search is now supporting organization markup as well. So this is just like, just got all the markup here in the first story. And what you can do is to help show your business or organization the correct details in Google search. And this will also show in Search Console and your rich results report. This is huge because the way that Google launched with the favicons in search was wildly broken. You had a client that we had to work with to try to fix some of it. This structured data will allow you to give your organization name and to give the instruction of what logo to use. So this is like a godsend because I know Glenn Gabe, well, actually he probably got so much money off of this because he was like the only one that could fix things. So Glenn, I would say he's probably
Glenn.
rejoicing out there, but he's got enough people coming to him.
He's rejoicing just because he's great.
Yeah, if you have an algo up there, go hire Glenn Gabe. But anyway, he would always put out these huge posts of like, how do you do these? They have like 6 different steps of how to make sure that you have the right company name and picture showing up as your favicon. Hopefully this will free him up to take on more work. We'll leave it at that. All right.
Rejoice. Next up, it might be pants season outside, but for advertisers inside, it is time to put on shorts. Google is hitting the gas on their rollout of shorts ads for video reach campaigns. Many folks are reporting seeing this option in their accounts already, noticing the ability to choose shorts ads as a video format, integrate them with in-stream ads, and also combine them with in-feed ads. But Google has noted that while it's no longer in beta and they are rolling it out, it is not available globally just yet. It'll be coming to all advertisers in the coming months. So don't be discouraged if you don't have it yet. You will be getting it. This is official. If you want to check if it's available in your account, just go to create a campaign. You create it without goals guidance, of course, because that's where all of the real options are. Select video, and then if it's available, it will be under the under video in the efficient reach section. So that's exactly where to go and look for it. If you do have it and you're looking to test Shorts ads, Aaron Jones wrote a guide for Search Engine Land last year that lays out how to create Shorts and has some tips for boosting engagement and view counts. That's for Shorts in general, not for ads. And as I said, it's about a year old. Still a good resource if you're looking for some inspiration, how to get started. And it's probably worth a test, especially if you found success on, say, TikTok or with Instagram Reels. We say this with everything, but don't flip your entire strategy just because it's now available. Add it into your creative mix and test it. But I mean, if traditional video ads are working well for you, don't turn those off either. But people are going to be testing this. People are going to be playing with this. And we'll talk more later about how TikTok is going a little bit longer form, but everybody else is going shorter form. And if you can make some money, throw up some good ads, maybe get in ahead of the game if it's available to you already.
And small update for anyone running shopping campaigns on Google, Dennis Moons at Dennis Moons on X. Notice you can now show merchant promotions in the Chrome browser. He said, came across this setting while setting up a new promotion in Google Merchant Center, and it looks like it's just a simple checkbox for free listings in the Chrome browser. So look out for that in your settings if you run shopping.
And I don't recall anything like this ever making its way from Merchant Center to Chrome, or like any Google product to Chrome outside of like extensions themselves.
That's a good point.
So I feel like this is like a big deal. And this is what I was saying before, like if notes were at the Chrome browser level, that would be something interesting, because if you don't have a comment section, you could use that as like a comment section. So pretty cool to see that you can have those promotions, have it show somehow like, you know, what people are doing with Honey and the Capital One thing and all that.
Now it's time for this week's Take of the Week. This is a #fire digital marketing take with extra spice served up for you. We simply deliver the take for your consumption. We give no opinions. We don't influence. You make the call.
This week's Take of the Week, it's a visual one for all you podcast listeners here, but I'm going to explain it. Right? You know what a Venn diagram is.
Yeah.
Where you
I'm
look
not
at
going to look. I'm just going to experience it like the listeners do.
It's where you see the overlaps, right? And Steve Lamar on LinkedIn has the GA4 plan. And there are 4 bubbles, not really overlapping anything. There's kind of one big thing that's trying to overlap with everything.
It's like an amoeba.
Yeah. But anyway, the 4 things are conversions struck through saying key events, confusing attribution, 24-hour data delays, and must-use BigQuery. Again, these aren't overlapping with anything yet. And then there's a big amoeba-looking thing that's avoiding all those bubbles, not intersecting with anything, and it's called What Marketers Need. Not overlapping with anything that's being offered. So this is going to go better on YouTube. But
It was pretty entertaining.
I just appreciate the fact that Steve did all this. And the cherry on top was the fact that conversion was there, and he crossed it out and said key events.
Now it's time for this week's ICYMI.
ICYMI, people.
This is something you just might not have seen. Maybe something that you overlooked, but you shouldn't have.
This week's ICYMI comes from Mike Ryan at Mike Ryan Retail on X. He posted, I'm calling it early. X is the frontrunner for 2024 placement exclusion of the year. Revisit this tweet in 6 months' time. And it was in response to a Search Engine Land article that was talking about X's key advertisers aren't pausing campaigns, they're walking away. We'll revisit.
We need an assistant here because I want to be like, remind me in 6 months. But I don't want to put it in my calendar right now.
Yeah. Schedule a post.
I'll just do it right now. Just put it in my calendar. We'll check back in 6 months.
Now it's time for this week's Pew Pew Lightning Round. At this point in the show, we split up our content into 3 parts: paid, organic, and social.
First up in the paid universe, Microsoft Advertising has launched a new tool for enhanced ad revenue analytics. So the dashboard is called Monetized Insights, and it includes a couple tabs. One is Total Revenue tab, and the other is Bid Rejection tab that will show ad quality information, floor rules, bid rejection by deals, and demand issues. So as advertisers, we love when platforms give us more insights, and hopefully these are actually helpful and actionable.
You know what? I feel like in your house, you could maybe have a couple of floor rules yourself.
Yeah, next time I'll take off my shoes. And Stephanie Kolani on LinkedIn posted a notice that Google has started creating automatic assets despite having auto-apply recommendations turned off and automatically created assets off in their settings. So in some cases, Google has created business name and logo assets automatically, which is super scary.
That's terrifying.
Yikes.
Like, you changed my name?
Yeah.
I'm maybe it's a better logo.
I doubt it. But like,
Oh wait, you didn't like those PMax videos they made? Oh, okay.
Yeah, very scary. So check your settings, people, in Google.
yeah, and I mean, check them, but it sounds like it doesn't matter.
Yeah. All right. And speaking of Google too, there was an Analytics report that accused Google of quietly placing ads on non-Google websites, posing a potential risk to brand safety. So this study had referenced an unnamed Fortune 500 company that was surprised to learn that its ads were being served on, quote, many non-Google websites, including Breitbart. That was a site that the company had specifically added to its account-level domain exclusion several years before. Google denied this accusation, saying that the examples shared in the report are from their programmable search engine, or Pro SE. On Pro SE, ads may appear based on the user's specific search query they are not targeted to, or based on the website they appear on.
Yeah, I mean, this is the problem of search partners is you can have exclusion lists for display, but you don't have exclusion lists for search partners.
So if you have that turned on.
Yeah, it's for the programmable search. It used to be custom search. Like if you've got that, you can go on those sites and you don't have the exclusion list because it's not technically a display ad.
Right.
It's a search ad. I don't know how you get around that.
You don't.
Right.
It seems like they should add an option to have an exclusion list
Yeah.
for search partners then.
Well, you have an exclusion list.
Yeah.
Or that's why you
Or
just
you
turn
just
them
don't-
off.
Well, yeah,
Check- you
advertisers
don't
should
check
just not,
the
they,
partner network.
Yeah.
I would say caveat, keep search partners on for branded is helpful. Or at least test it yourself. Test it and see what happens.
Yeah.
But if you're going to do one thing with search partners, your branded search is the one thing to test.
that's the only thing. Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't know of a way to turn off exclusions on search that I'm aware of. There might be a way out there. I just don't know. We don't use search partners a ton unless it's for branded stuff. And in that case, many times we just want to make sure we get them back to our site.
And more updates from Google on SEO Roundtable. Google posted a new policy update saying it won't allow personalized advertising for consumer finance in the United States or Canada starting February 28th, 2024. So you won't be able to target anyone based on their gender, age, parental status, marital status, or zip codes. If you violate this new policy, it will not lead to immediate account suspension without prior warning. A warning will be issued at least 7 days prior to any suspension of your Google Ads account. So just something to be aware of. I know they've also done this for other ad categories as well.
I think generally this is good. Like the few folks that might see an issue is I know there are books targeted to specific demographics, right? Where you're trying to make it easier in that case. You're not going to be able to do that, I would assume. But the only thing that doesn't make sense to me is the zip code targeting. Because if you're in consumer finance and this is related to credit lending, banking products and services, certain financial planning, how do you not, like if you're a local branch, how do you not target by, is it radius then? Like,
Yeah, if zip code's the only thing, I feel like there's other location targeting options. They
it's maybe
specify that
radius
one.
or like
Oh, that's true.
Can you do it by like voting district? Is that something you can do? I don't know. But if you're a local business offering loans, not being able to target zip codes could be an issue.
Yeah.
All right, next up in paid news, Sean Ellie at SEllie2134 on X said, every time you update Google Ads Editor, there are slight setting changes. The one we found this week, remarketing or display campaigns default to observation mode even when adding audiences. Cool, Google, cool.
Not cool.
No, I've seen that a ton too. And you just got to double check on the web once you push live now because that's a life we're living.
You give us a tool to make things faster, and now you're adding extra steps.
And if you want to hear more Sean Ellie, head over to our channel at Marketing O'Clock on YouTube. We got an interview with Sean, the AdSquire guys, and some more folks there. So don't miss that.
Over the holiday week, Google accidentally sent out an email telling some advertisers that their account had been suspended. So this notification was triggered by a technical fault and issued just hours before the Thanksgiving holiday.
At least it's not
What
like
a
a
treat.
big shopping time of the year.
NBD.
Yeah. So Ginny Marvin from her ads liaison account on X said that additional communications explaining the error would be sent. So that's super helpful. Panic right before you are probably out of office for the holidays.
Nothing ruins Thanksgiving dinner like an account suspension.
And Barry Schwartz at Rusty Brick on X said and reported that Jerry Dishler, Google Ads head, was stepping down. Wow, DOJ had any impact on that? And then he also tagged G. Sterling at Greg Finn too. More info to come soon.
He's going after all the Gregs in this one. I like it.
Yeah. And then you responded, he must have been hiding in the cushion.
They shook him out.
Oh, yeah, he just was in the wrong spot, wrong time. He was trying to hide, just shaking out,
They shook the cushions.
Shake it out, like Florence says.
I feel like that Jerry got, again, infamous for his DOJ quote of shaking the cushions from trying to make more revenue for the current quarter. I feel like I know probably where he's going to go.
Microsoft?
No, I think he's more like Value City Furniture. Like,
They're aggressive when you walk when you walk into Value City Furniture.
yeah, use those skills. Get those skills going,
That's funny too because cushions.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the joke.
So Ginny from her ads liaison account did respond and said, just to address the speculation, this was his decision and not related to the trial to pursue something new following nearly 15 years working Google Ads.
Thank you, Ginny, for the follow-up. You cannot survive that. We're going to shake the cushions of your advertisers. So I appreciate your input, Ginny, but this was coming whether Jerry liked it or not. Yes, I'm sure he stepped down. I'm sure he would not. You can't survive that quote.
No.
We have shirts with it. Yeah.
That was the last straw. He's like, you know what? There's shirts now. I'm out of here. I'm out.
Oh my God, I go to store.marketingclock.com.
So if you're shopping for a couch at Value City, be sure to wear your Shake the Cushion shirt.
Yeah. You might have to remove the value from the name.
More Google.
It's just called City Furniture.
Yeah.
And nobody knows why except digital marketers.
It's because he can't take value-based bidding with him while he goes to work at Value City Furniture. So
Oh, yeah, just City Fern.
Thomas Assell on LinkedIn posted and noticed that app campaign seasonality adjustments are in beta for many Google Ads accounts. So that's kind of cool. It was already available for search, display, shopping, and PMAX. Now available if you're running any apps.
And that Thomas, he finds everything. You should follow him on LinkedIn. I'm going to go out and try to find new people to follow on LinkedIn, BBC.
You're on LinkedIn now?
No, I know I need to be on there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm dreading it. I just don't have the capacity right now. The mental capacity. Not even time.
For sure.
That seems so dreadful to me. But I'm going to go on there. I'm going to do like some thirsty posts too. I'll be like, ooh, PBC or should I follow? And then I'll just get engagement and whatever.
There's a trick, everyone.
Yeah.
All right. And Ben Turner at Ben BGT Digital on X posted, seeing impression share metrics in selected Google LSA accounts could be useful. Metrics seem wildly different to an LSA ranking tool I briefly used. One of them must be off. And then he tags Anthony Higman and says,
Higman!
See these metrics under the reports tab before? And we don't run LSA ads, so I'll just read verbatim what Anthony said. Hey Ben, no, this is definitely new. Awesome find, and thank God, because me and a few others have been screaming for this. My whole thing since the intro of LSA is how I can accurately report on Google Ads when LSA is in the mix, and you have no idea how or when. And then he also adds, What's cool is that these metrics I haven't been able to see before. You can see a lot of data and LSA accounts from the account level if you are creative, but haven't been able to see positioning metrics before. Although, again, my beef with this platform is that is separate, but really exactly the same and run out of Google Ads accounts. I hate it because my take is that it is just a rebrand of Google Ads, but in black box, and that it is just further conditioning us to accept black boxes in advertising.
Can I say my fun fact on this?
Yeah.
You had said LSA ads.
Mm-hmm.
That is a RAS syndrome. Do you know how much I love RAS syndromes, right?
ATM machines.
Yes.
Yeah.
It means recursive acronym syndrome.
Yes.
But RAS
You're right.
syndrome itself is a RAS syndrome because it's RAS syndrome. It's the smartest thing I've ever discovered in my life. Yes. But LSA ads is a recursive acronym syndrome, or RAS syndrome.
So just LSAs.
Yeah.
No
SEO
ads.
optimization. People say that.
All right. And more from Anthony Higman at Anthony Higman. On X. He's posted, just spotted, Google now including green highlighted text in ads. So he has a screenshot of SERP and in one of the sponsored ads, assuming that this is something that you put in your search query, it's highlighted in green, part of the description.
Yeah, I wonder though, because that was my first thought too, but there's no way that they typed you may qualify for compensation.
Yeah.
So they might say, do I qualify for compensation? Right. Something like that. But yeah.
Also, what complete moron would click on that ad? From workers-compensation-law. Here's the kicker, .us. .us? Who's clicking on that ad?
I don't know. It's got green highlighted text. I feel like my eyes are going right there.
Workers-compensation-law.us. I loved their blog last week. That's the longest URL ever. And you got a US. It's a .us. You have 2 dashes. It's like 20 characters. You couldn't even get the .com. Get out of here with that. You should not be highlighted. There should be a limit on your domain name length.
All right. Anthony Higman also posted, hey, Google, your cleverer expanded keyword matching is straight trash. Capital letters. You are making the same mistake here that you are making with LSA. A work injury lawyer is not a labor lawyer or a hostile work environment lawyer. Stop making workers' compensation into labor law, please. Thanks. There will be a point soon where you cross the threshold and advertisers will bounce. Please stop. And then he has a screenshot of all the egregious matching search queries to his keywords.
They're totally different. One is like more personal injury based. One is labor. What are we doing here? Like, this is where when they came out with all the close variants and are like, we know the difference between milk chocolate and chocolate milk.
They don't.
You don't. You sure effing don't know the difference between these two, because I can see it here, and these things are not the same.
All right, moving on from all the Google news, we have some X news. There are reports that suggest that companies like Disney, Paramount, Lionsgate, Sony Pictures, and Universal have temporarily paused campaigns. However, key brands have actually ceased advertising altogether after Elon Musk endorsed an anti-Semitic conspiracy theory, which he has since refused to apologize for. So it also includes that X is potentially facing a loss of up to $75 million in ad revenue by the end of this year, according to the New York Times. Not looking too hot for X.
Check back in 6 months.
No, I'm not putting that back in another calendar.
All right. And last in the paid universe, LinkedIn has announced that there are new ad platform measurement updates. You can now track campaign performance without cookie tracking using LinkedIn's new Conversions API. So you can either use a direct API integration or a third-party tool to connect your online and offline data to LinkedIn.
And on to organic. And reminder, today's show is brought to you by Wix, who also has the phenomenal SERPs Up podcast. I will tell you, I will attest, I will swear on a stack of Bibles, whatever you want, that Crystal Carter and Morty Oberstein they're better in person than they are on the show, and they are phenomenal on the show. Met them for the first time out in Brighton SEO. Phenomenal. The most delightful folks you've ever met. and they have a phenomenal podcast called the SERPs Up Podcast. My favorite thing about that is it's the edutainment factor. It's not just, oh, here's the news, something like that. It's more, let's have fun, let's learn, let's all have a good time while getting better. That was the whole thought of this show here. And I was just listening to the show that dropped on Wednesday with Ashwin from Optimizer, who was on our PPC list, power listener of the show. The opening was phenomenal. It was talking about Meatloaf. All three of them are singing at
The
one
artist?
point. Yeah, the artist. Talking about Meatloaf, talking about buying links and what they would do, but they wouldn't do that.
I love that.
And then Ashwin was talking about, because I guess it's beg. Is that what that's for?
Is that what it's for?
I don't know. But anyway, I don't want to spoil
I
it.
never knew.
But the only disclaimer I have is they are now infringing upon our show title names.
We cannot have
Episode 64. I would do anything for links, but I won't do that. No, it's still fantastic. You still need to check it out. The SERPs Up podcast. And like we said before, Wix is leading the way here. If you want to find out more of why Wix is leading the way, listen to our interview with George Wynn from Wix. He has the entire SEO Learning Hub. That's his deal, making that work. And SERPs Up podcast is one element of that. And it is a fantastic element. It's fun. It's informative. And there's so much evergreen content in there. You'll have fun, and you will learn along the way. Must listen. SERPs Up Podcast, SERPs Up Podcast, SERPs Up Podcast. And 2 weeks into its Ignite event, Microsoft made a snoozy announcement, according to Computer World. The company was rebranding its generative AI-based Bing chat and calling it Copilot instead. So they said, ho hum, maybe this is like another day at the office, right? But it seems like it might be more consequential than you think. According to Computer World, so again, you need to trust Computer World. They're saying that it's signaled that they're throwing in the towel on the internet search war with Google and is turning its full attention to AI. So they've taken the AI that was pretty good, right? It was sort of a hybrid of OpenAI and Microsoft. In order to get it, because it was very good, they moved it to Bing, hoping that Bing would grow. Bing actually declined. So now they're calling it Copilot and hoping that that sort of becomes the answer. I think this is smart. If you can say, our search just hasn't worked for a long time. A lot of people use Windows. Maybe there's a way that in that little search bar, you can have something super helpful. Like, that's my Copilot. I like the name Copilot. Never really liked the name Bing.
Got it.
And then the Computer World article said, if you dig a little bit deeper, you will find it's a signal Microsoft is ceding the search market to Google, believing search is the past and AI is the future. We're seeing more of that with audience ads and things like that, at least on the ad platform in Microsoft advertising. Worth a read. Can't confirm or deny, but that's Computer World's take, and it's a good one.
You say Computer World again?
Computerworld.com. All right, and the Google November 2023 core update is now complete. It started on November 2nd and took almost 4 weeks to roll out, completing on November 28th. It is the longest core update in history.
Is that a fact?
Fact from Barry Schwartz.
We just lived through it. We just lived through
Yeah.
that history, you guys.
Yeah, for like a long time.
4 weeks.
Hey, what's that noise?
It's time for Barry's Charts with Greg.
All right, so in this week's Barry's Charts with Greg, we've got, I'm just going to put this here until they change the visual of the charts. Number 3 every week is always going to be Winter. I love how thin these lines are. I've never seen charts like this. These charts are like 2 pixels wide. This is the dumbest chart I've ever seen. It makes my heart.
It's a wide tooth comb.
Life is tough sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
You know, life is tough. And then you look at this Winter chart and you're like, these are the thinnest, markings I've ever seen.
So this makes you
gotta-
feel better or worse about life?
It makes me feel good about life,
Okay.
you know? Okay, number 2, SEMrush charts. And if you look at the SEMrush charts, there's like kind of like a mountain range. And then if you keep going to the right, you see something that most people have grown up with. That's a sledding hill. This is a sledding hill with a jump at the end.
Oh, like
A
November
sledding
14th.
hill. Yep, November 14th. That's when winter comes. That's when the jump comes. This is a sledding hill. SEMrush, you can't fool me. I know what this is. This is a sledding hill, but you get number 2. Number 1 is advanced web rankings, because while SEMrush was sledding, advanced web rankings went ahead and put 2 butt cheeks right in the chart. There's 2 butt cheeks sitting there right in the chart,
Where?
November 13th through November 23rd.
That is a very uneven rump.
I'm seeing a lot more than 2 butt cheeks.
Well, I see 2.
I see a smaller one after November 23rd.
That looks like a different body part. Perhaps a grandma.
Well, I see a giant butt cheek there, and that's why 2 butt cheeks, maybe 4 butt cheeks, but advanced web rankings, you are the winner. And that was Barry's Charts with Greg, a visual program about audio charts.
An audio program for
About
visual charts.
charts. And next up from Charles Farina at Charles Farina on X. He says, sampling has now been introduced to GA4 standard reports. Previously, all the standard reports were fully unsampled. This is no longer always the case. And you can see a warning if it is a very heavily sampled report. It's kind of a little red warning. And you can always check in the upper right, at least if you're in the Explorer, if something is sampled or not. So just a heads up on that. And then from Adrian Decker at Adrian_PPC on X. He says, new GA4 updates. Google has officially announced the improvement of data sampling in other row in the turn on or off comparison. So you can essentially, they're trying to reduce the likelihood of sampling for some of the graphs and charts and things like that. So they're trying to choose a table that provides the most accurate results for each query, reducing the likelihood of seeing the other row in data sampling. So again, just check it out. GA4 is not perfect. You need to use BigQuery and things like that. If you need help with that, we can help you with it. But just know that all that data is not necessarily factual. Make sure that it's unsampled if you're looking for like sheer fact. From Lily Ray at Lily Ray NYC on X. She says, okay, I find this SGE result to be pretty unethical. I thought we talked about this last week, but I look back and this was launched after the show.
Yeah, we didn't.
But she said the query starts with the brand name. The query is Tech Radar, which is a magazine, and then Nintendo OLED, which is a type of a switch. And she says the query starts with a brand name, clearly navigational, and instead of taking me to that site's page for the keyword, aka navigational search, it shows a bunch of information and links to products from other sites. When you think you're putting in a magazine name and a product, you would try to get information on that product from said magazine. At least that's what I would think.
That would be, yep.
With SGE, it is just giving basic Nintendo Switch OLED information, and then the links that it's using have nothing to do with Tech Radar. It's about the 4 best gaming consoles, the 6 best things that have nothing to do with Tech Radar. And people call Lily Ray, they say that she's like in the pocket of Google. No, she's calling this out right now, and we're going to get to that in a second. So again, this is sort of like SGE gone wrong. Do I think they're going to fix this? Absolutely. All right, from Adrian Decker again, he says that Kishanu Kamar found that Google is testing with lines between the site links. I hate this.
That is so
That's
ugly.
Yeah.
This is the worst experiment test that I've ever seen. There is so much space taken up. Each thing looks different, though it's the same. I couldn't hate something more.
Yeah.
From Mike Ryan at Mike Ryan Retail on X. He's got a tweet saying the MC account overview has been updated, and that is Merchant Center. And it includes a prominent new column called Merchant Center version, which probably highlights how important the Merchant Center next rollout will be in the months ahead. So if you're looking into all of your accounts, you can now see what version each client that you have in your accounts is on, or I guess branch of your company, whatever those are on. All right. And from Anthony Higman, he says, Google is pushing to tie all accounts together and prep for the Gmail purge. It's a reminder. Google will be deleting inactive Gmail accounts in 8 days. That is accounts that have not been logged into in the last 2 years. Sign into Gmails you have to avoid having them deleted. If you don't use it, you lose it.
And when he said in 8 days, that was on November 22nd. So by the time you're listening to this, I think you're done.
You're done.
Sorry.
But it's a reminder, if you have something that you don't regularly check, set it up quarterly, like your partner rewards now that you have to go into freaking quarterly. We just got a giant shipment here because I was like, I do not want to keep logging into this thing to keep my points. We've got cornhole, we've got foosball, and I don't even apply any of their stupid recommendations. We
got points for days.
Yeah, we could have built the castle if we actually listen to them. Okay, anyway. All right, this is a wild one. This is a story about Sports Illustrated. And growing up as a kid, like, you always kind of looked up to Sports Illustrated. I would beg to like get it at the grocery store and stuff like that. That's how old I am. And there was an article from Futurism that outed a few of their authors as potentially not being real, Tiffany Gomez style. They said there's nothing. So there was an author named Drew Ortiz, and Futurist said there was nothing in Drew Ortiz's author biography at Sports Illustrated to suggest he was anything other than human. And this is his bio. Drew has spent much of his life outdoors and is excited to guide you through his never-ending list of the best products to keep you from falling to the perils of nature, it read. Nowadays, there is rarely a weekend that goes by where Drew isn't out camping, hiking, or just back at his parents' farm.
That is the most inhuman thing I've ever read.
Okay. And so Futurism goes on to say, the only problem? Outside of Sports Illustrated, Drew Ortiz doesn't seem to exist. He has no social media presence, no publishing history, and even more strangely, his profile photo on Sports Illustrated is for sale on a website that sells AI-generated headshots, where he is described as a neutral, white, young adult male with short brown hair and blue eyes. I have so much to say. We are going to be long. Should I shut up?
No.
Or talk about it? Okay. I thought the whole point of an AI-generated headshot is that you tell AI to make a headshot and you get a unique headshot. There are sites out there doing that and then selling it to other people. Why would you go make an AI headshot, put it for sale like a stock photo, and have somebody buy that? That doesn't make any sense.
Because now I can buy it too.
Right.
This is what Jess Budd looks like.
Why don't you take a picture of somebody and say, change it by 50% or something?
Ooh.
Or combine 4 different people together or something. Like, that's the whole point of AI. The whole point of AI isn't to buy it off of a Shutterstock looking website like this one has. It has watermarks on it.
Look at this picture.
I know.
You look at that and think that's a real person?
I can't. There's somebody out there
Scary.
making money off of generating AI headshots and selling them. That's insane. Go use Windjourney or whatever it's called. Midjourney. Not Windjourney. Whatever.
Pupils are like in a weird
Yeah.
place. His teeth are weird. And nobody crops a headshot like that.
Anyway, so sometime in the summer, Ortiz disappeared from the Sports Illustrated site entirely, and his profile page instead redirected to that of Sora Tanaka. And there's no online record of a writer by that name, but Tanaka's profile picture for sale is on the same AI headshot marketplace as Ortiz. And her bio read, Sora has always been a fitness guru and loves to try different food and drinks. Ms. Tanaka is thrilled to bring her fitness and nutritional expertise to the product reviews team and promises to bring you nothing but the best of the best.
She writes about different things than he did, and his profile was just replaced.
Yes. So if you think that's funny, basically she got pulled down and got moved to somebody else without a profile pic. There was no byline saying like this was originally written by Drew Ortiz or Sora, whatever. And Sports Illustrated had since removed the content, and apparently they had hired somebody named Advion, allegedly Commerce. They work with retailers and publishers, and they might have outsourced this to AI and cooked this up. So you kind of need to know what you're doing if you're a publisher.
That's pretty bad.
I don't know.
Fool me once, fool me twice.
And this was my favorite part. The Sports Illustrated Union said, these practices violate everything we believe in about journalism. We demand that the company commit to adhering to basic journalistic standards, including not publishing computer written stories by fake people.
People get mad about unions. That's the best union demand I've ever heard in my life. That is so, like, yeah.
Yeah, don't publish computer written stories by fake people.
Sure. Like, e pluribus unum, and then that.
Yeah. All right, next up from Search Engine Land, the number of websites blocking Google extended jump 180%, according to Danny Goodwin. This is so that Bard cannot get into a bunch of these sites and steal the content. And some of those websites blocking Google Extended include Ziff Davis properties like PC Mag, not Computer World, Jess, Mashable, Fox, New York Times, Condé Nast, Yelp. They're all blocking Bard. All right, Google's also updating its video publisher policy. If you want to see if there's going to be an impact on your video inventory, head on over to community.marketingclock or newsletter.marketingclock, get the story. They're making it basically adhere to IAB standards a little bit more. And want a little SEO drama today or want to save it to next week?
I mean, I love drama, but
okay.
If you're feeling done.
So Jake Ward, at Jake Z Ward on X, had a screenshot and a thread that started with, we pulled off an SEO heist that stole 3.6 million total traffic from a competitor. We got almost 500,000 in traffic in October alone. Here's how we did it. And apparently Jake said that they exported the competitor sitemap. They turned their list of URLs into article titles. Then they created 1,800 articles from those titles at scale using AI. And 18 months later, they've stolen 3.6 million in total traffic and 490K in monthly traffic. He's got a whole thread. You could go follow him if you want on Jake Z Ward on X.
Sounds like computer written stories by fake people to me.
It sure does, but it works in this case. In this case, for a bit, I'll add. So there was kind of like a back and forth between people saying like, hey, this is like really bad. You're not shedding SEOs in good light. Like maybe go to the alligator party or something like that. And then there were people supporting it. So Mike King at iPullRank on X said, I'm not sure why people are mad at this. This is literally what we all do manually anyway. Shout out to Jake Z Ward for working smarter, not harder. And then there are other folks like Lily Ray at Lily Ray NYC on X saying, imagine bragging about stealing like this in any other industry. These kinds of posts are why I wish Google would take a stronger stance against purely AI content, because to me, this feels like quintessential auto-generated content. Curious to see what happens over time. Well, thankfully, Lily, you don't have to wait too much time for this one, because ExcelJet at ExcelJet on X said, as the 10-year-old website featured in this case study, but otherwise not credited, we are curious to see what SEO pros like Glenn Gabe, Lily Ray, Rusty Brick, Cyrus Shepard, Aleda, Dr. Pete think about large-scale efforts to steal traffic with AI. So ExcelJet seems like the one that was stolen from and bragged and boasted about by the other guy whose name I already forgot. And then Lily Ray goes on to say, often the tactics that lead to the biggest growth in SEO in the short term, assuming they are against Google's guidelines or close to being against guidelines if you read between the lines, are the same tactics that Google cracks down on with future updates. And then from Ross Hudgens at Ross Hudgens on X, interview coming soon on our Marketing Clock YouTube channel. Ross writes, Google has stolen this traffic back. According to Ahrefs, traffic is falling off a cliff. I do not see any rankings present in using a site search operator. Only the homepage is currently indexed. Do not embarrass Google. And then Lily Ray went on to say, must be nice to be on Google's web spam team these days. Everyone is doing their work for them for free. And that's it in organic. What's happening in social, bud?
First up in social this week, from the information by way of Glenn Gabe, he posted on X, TikTok ignited a frenzy for short videos. Now it wants longer ones and even horizontal ones. Then he quotes the article from the information that says TikTok told creators that users are now spending half their time on the app watching content that's longer than a minute. And over the past 6 months, creators who posted videos longer than a minute have 5 times the growth rate in followers than those who only post short videos. So we'll have the link to the full article in our show notes so you can dive in further. But the point is TikTok is and has been zigging where everyone else is zagging. They invented short form in theory, and now they're going the other way, and it's driving engagement. So if you're on TikTok, think about that.
And this one's a smart move.
For sure.
YouTube doesn't care about their long videos anymore. We saw that survey where creators are making less longer videos and catering more towards shorts. I'm sorry, but those creators are not making videos catering towards shorts. They're making short form videos. And if TikTok can come up with a way to have long-term video, have apps and things where you can watch content by creators that's like good engaging things on TV and things like that, great.
Yep.
YouTube needs a competitor. And I think by chasing the quick dollars of shorts, which I might or might not have done in their shoes, probably wouldn't have, they're opening themselves up for another competitor in long form. And I hope it's TikTok and I hope they win.
Yeah, they probably will. Stick talking with that video platform. There is a new feature to help creators and brands make content that more effectively resonates with TikTok users. It's called Creative Cards. You do have to register to access the feature, but once you have access, you will get a digital deck with hundreds of data-backed prompts focused around community, edutainment, tools, trends, and storytelling. So depending on what you're into and what you're trying to do, you can get some creative inspiration. TikTok said Creative Cards will help you develop new ways to communicate with concise ad concepts displayed in a collection of digital cards. With so many thought starters at the ready, it's easy to keep your content fresh and avoid getting stale with the help which can help you attract attention to seasonal products and gift ideas. So in the announcement, there's a lot of talk about the holiday season, but really the prompts themselves are meant to be evergreen and last all year long. So if you need some inspiration on TikTok, definitely check that out. Moving over to X, Elon Musk posted on X, in an upcoming release, X will overlay the title in the upper portion of the image of a URL card. This is in relation to how they got rid of headlines on posts that were going up. And I just love this from Lindsay Fiffield. She responded and said, please stop fixing things that aren't broken so that they then need to be fixed when you break them. I just love that. Leave it alone.
Fixed.
Keeping it X here, Keith Gould at K__ Gould on X. He works for them. He posted, FYI, just deployed a change to allow you to embed videos and broadcasts from X as a standalone, not within a tweet. Notice he said tweet. Official comms to come shortly. I did not see any official communication, but basically you can embed a video without like the usual tweet or post around it. And there's just a little X watch on X button in the top left that will link back to the platform. So if you're looking to embed something in, say, a blog post or a piece of content, you want it to look cleaner, but it's originally post on X, you can do that with less clutter. So that's nice. An experiment from the Wall Street Journal had some disturbing results. It's a quote from the article. The journal sought to determine what Instagram's Reels algorithm would recommend to test accounts set up to follow only young gymnasts, cheerleaders, and other teen and preteen influencers active on the platform. The results were stunning.
Stunning?
Well, no, I chose the wrong word there. It depends what you're into, and I'm a family man. So basically, the stream of videos recommended by Instagram to said test accounts included an ad for Bumble, a video of somebody stroking the face of a life-size latex doll, a video of a young girl with a digitally obscured face lifting up her shirt to expose her stomach, a Pizza Hut commercial that followed.
Oh, that's the most egregious.
Okay. A video of a man lying on a bed with his arm around what the caption said was a 10-year-old girl. That's not Instagram's fault. What is Pizza Hut doing?
Yeah,
that doesn't make any sense. I don't understand.
They really got railroaded there.
They really did. Like pizza is dead. Tacos are king. I don't know, but that's bad. It's bad. The Canadian Centre for Child Protection separately ran similar tests and got similar results. So it's not just the Wall Street Journal, but Meta, if you ask them, they say that the test produced a manufactured experience that doesn't represent what billions of users see. But again, separate tests saw similar results, so I don't know. They also declined to comment on why algorithms compiled the stream of results that it did. A spokesperson of the platform did, however, note that there are new brand safety tools for advertisers to control where your ads show, and that Instagram either removes or reduces the prominence of 4 million videos suspected of violating its standards each month. I would say it sounds like that's not enough. It's weird. And Pizza Hut should do something different with their advertising, but I
would say the ad for the dating app Bumble probably would be good.
I
They
think
instead of
that's
looking at
fine.
this
That's adults. Yeah.
Go find a real life person.
Yeah. I think that's okay. But then
But
it's
not
like,
that Pizza Hut is a line too far.
yeah. So you don't click Bumble. What's next? Pizza with children. All right, hopefully unrelated, but FYI, Instagram has officially rolled out the ability for all users to download publicly posted Reels clips.
That's a good band name. Pizza with Children.
Is it?
No.
Depends who your target audience is. And with that, I'm done. And that brings us to our real life segment. Straight out of our accounts and into your ear holes. It's time for Working Hard or Hardly Working, where we talk about what's going on in our IRL work, good, bad, or otherwise. Nicole, what's going on in your accounts this week?
All right. So I think you had mentioned this a week or two before about how we've been testing using forms to request changes, updates with our clients. They're integrated into our ClickUp, different permission settings, awesome stuff. And this week, at least with one of my clients, we officially did the process for the first time, and it is working so hard for us. This client usually had to come from Slack or email or a spreadsheet we shared, and there's so many different people on the team that need to get a hold of us to request this. So using a ClickUp form really has streamlined the process.
Love it. Working hard. Working hard for me is Sprout Social. New to the platform in the last month or so, but it really is. I know it's a little bit more on the pricey side, but if you have the budget for it as a social scheduling tool, it does so much more. This is not a paid promotion, but it has really good reporting. You get all your DMs in one inbox. It has really been handy for our team. And so I would say it is working hard for us. Greg?
Something working hard for me is top articles on X. I don't know the name of it anymore. Twitter Blue. I'm Twitter Blue is what I paid for. But if you have that, you can see top articles by people you follow. And it's actually a really good aggregation of like sort of what's being shared out there by your followers. So I use that all the time for news, just like keeping up with things and seeing what's going on. So I actually really like the top articles. You kind of got to dig around for it, which is weird, but working hard.
That is 3 for 3 working hard this week. I don't know if we've ever been universally positive, and I don't know if we ever will be again. So you're witnessing history here, folks. And now for this week's
Cool Tool.
As a reminder, our Cool Tool segment is not an official endorsement or paid mention. We're simply sharing something we found in our travels that may be of use to our listeners. And is really, really cool.
This week's cool tool is a placement exclusion list you just can't miss. I apologize if that's a repeat rhyme, but I thought it was pretty good. From Thomas Assell, it's a list of YouTube channels to exclude if you're in demand gen, and honestly, probably a great resource just for anybody that's running video campaigns. So check it out. It's a Google Sheet, not an Assell file, and it's crowdsourced by the community and growing by the day. It is a great bookmark for Team Paid. I love to see all the suggestions from folks in there already. I would encourage you to contribute to it so it can keep growing and everybody's campaigns can keep getting more efficient and more effective. As always, we will have the link in our newsletter as well as on Discord. It's newsletter.and community.marketingoclock.com respectively. So pick your poison and check it out. Now it's time for our must-read marketing article of the week. An article so advanced, so in-depth, so detailed that we simply cannot cover it in its entirety on today's show.
This week's must-read marketing article of the week is from the one, the only Lily Ray over on Search Engine Land, Google's 2023 Search Quality Rater Guidelines Update. Here's what's changed. And Lily does a great job of breaking down all of the guidance changes that have occurred with this recent update we talked about last week, all the different page citations if you want to see it for yourself, screenshots, and then also kind of breaking everything down and why it matters. And I think that's the most important part. It's not just like, oh, this changed, but it's more like, well, there's now deeper explanations for minor interpretations. And if you care about that, Lily has you covered. This is the best piece I've seen on this. So if you're interested about the search quality rater guidelines and the changes, don't miss it. Thank you, Lily.
And now onto our playlist of curated songs to work to, which you can find over at playlist.marketingoclock.com. Nicole, what is going on the playlist for you this week?
I will be adding Be Sweet by Japanese Breakfast.
Love that. Greg?
I'll be adding Alaska by Maggie Rogers.
All right, and for me, it's Anarchy by Lilith Starr. So rock out, everybody.
All right, that does it for today's show.
It is now officially not Marketing O'Clock.
Thanks for listening.
We miss you already.
Can't wait to see you next week.
Thanks for listening to Marketing O'Clock. If you're looking for more information on today's topics, head over to marketingoclock.com/newsletter to receive every single article we covered. We share the news as it breaks in our Discord community. Head over to community.marketingoclock.com to join.
Welcome to this week's Shootin the Heck, where after our famous Friday news show, we don't talk about marketing anymore. We just
Shoot the heck. This week we are playing, I don't know, this isn't everybody's favorite game. It's just trivia. Trivia this week.
someone's favorite game.
Well, when we were coming into the office this morning, it was full on winter here in Western New York. So we are going to play some winter trivia, okay? And if you get the answer on the nose or the closest answer, I'm the judge. So don't you even dare combat me. All right?
Without going over?
Yes, and
Okay,
I'm the judge on anything else. I'm just going to say the closest. The closest. So no Price is Right rules, and I'm choosing closest.
So we
Okay.
can go over.
Yeah.
You're not thinking about this the right way, and you'll find out pretty soon. Here. Okay, so to ring in tables, Jess and Nicole, please use your first name. Okay, to start us off, how fast do snowflakes fall on average?
Nicole.
Nicole.
2 miles per hour.
Jess. 16 miles per hour.
Tables.
23 miles per hour.
Nicole gets it. The correct answer is 3 to 4 miles per hour. So I would have accepted 3 or 4 as a correct answer. And I guess this is winter adjacent because you kind of need to know this in a winter. What month is Earth closest to the sun?
Jess. July.
Nicole.
June.
June.
She just said June.
What if it's the right answer and we both got it?
I would call it out. If you get it on the nose, I call it out.
May.
Tables is the winner. The correct month is January. It is counterintuitive to what you may think. It's due to the angle away from the sun.
Oh.
The axis is tilted away from the sun.
Wow.
Okay. How many sides does a snowflake have?
Jess. Wait, sides or points?
Sides.
Many. 6.
On the nose. Everybody's got a point.
Ooh.
We got a battle here. How tall was the largest snowman ever built? You've got answers. 50 feet, 101 feet, 113 feet, 126 feet.
Tables. 126 feet.
I don't think I was listening
Jess.
to the options.
50 feet.
Okay, you can pick between 101 feet or 113 feet. One of them is correct, Nicole.
Nicole. 113.
Got it on the nose. How'd you get it right there?
Multiple choice.
On its old carrot nose there. Okay. What is the only insect that migrates to a warmer climate each year? Jess.
Butterfly.
More specific, please.
The monarch.
Correct. Okay, Jess and Nicole both have 2. Tables has 1. What bird sticks around in snowy winters instead of migrating? Jess.
Cardinal.
Correct. Jess, you have 3. Okay, this is where, see, that's where I was saying you could be closest.
You
I'm
can't
gonna pick the closest bird.
You can't be a higher
I'm
bird.
gonna take an oriole over a raven because at least there's a little more color there.
So you're going to announce a winner
Yeah,
each round no matter what.
no matter what.
Okay.
Okay.
It makes
So you want
sense
to keep
now.
going or want?
Yeah, I love this. I'm winning.
What animal is known for its large snowshoe-like hind feet and seasonal fur color change?
Jess. Rabbit.
Tables. You're close. Nothing.
No idea.
Nicole.
A
Chipmunk.
snowshoe hare.
Oh, that's a rabbit.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
would have got it. It would have been hard for somebody to get it. But if they got it on the nose, they could have got it on its cute little snowshoe hare nose. Okay. What large mammals are excellent swimmers and can swim for several hours in icy water?
Jess.
Jess.
Polar bear.
Correct. Jess is 5
Sorry,
to
Nicole.
nothing. Everybody else is out at this point. What animal has the densest fur of any land mammal? It helps them stay warm in the Andes Mountains.
Oh, Andes.
Where are the Andes Mountains? Jess.
Jess.
Alpaca.
Okay. Remember, you just got to get closest to the animal. I'm the judge.
Just pick an animal.
Nicole.
Nicole.
Billy goat.
Okay. Nicole is currently in the lead.
Something closer than a billy goat.
Mountain goat.
I think a billy goat is smaller than a mountain goat, so I'm going to give it to Nicole. It's a chinchilla. A little chinchilla. Okay, you want to keep more of these, or we're done with this?
I love this.
Okay.
Because the closeness
What?
is really fun.
Animal migrates long distances between polar feeding grounds and warmer breeding areas? I'll give you a hint. It's a mammal.
Jess.
Jess.
Yak.
Okay. Wow. Look at that look on Nicole. So you to make that look, you have to have something in that brain of yours to make that look. You better have a good guess here. You better have a good guess coming. Nicole just made the funniest face.
Oh, a seal's not a mammal.
Seal's
I
very,
think a
very
seal's
much
a mammal. Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna say seal.
Okay, tables.
I don't know. Penguin.
It's too damn hot for a penguin to be just walking around here.
Penguin is a bird. So that is not correct. All right. It is a humpback whale. Nicole was onto something here. But unfortunately, too little, too late. And Jess is our big winter winner here. Thank you, Jess. And we will see you next week.